She tried to bankrupt me over barbecue sauce. The internet bankrupted her brand instead. The envelope was thick, cream-colored, and smelled faintly of lavender and litigation. I stared at it on my kitchen counter, nestled between a bag of onions and a half-empty bottle of olive oil. It was Tuesday, March 3rd. The sun was streaming through the window, highlighting the dust motes dancing in the air, but the room felt suddenly cold. I picked up the letter opener. The return address was a law firm I recognized from billboards downtown, Sterling, Vance Associates. I slid the blade under the flap. The paper tore with a satisfying shhhk that belied the bomb contained inside. I pulled out the document. It was heavy, 5 pages, stapled. Cease and desist order. Plaintiff, Ember and Heirloom LLC, Tiffany Miller. Defendant, Maria. Violation, theft of trade secrets, brand dilution, unlawful competition. Damages sought, $250,000. I laughed. It wasn't a happy laugh. It was the dry, hacking laugh of a chef who has just been told she can't cook her own grandmother's ribs. Tiffany, I whispered to the empty kitchen. You have got to be kidding me. To understand why my cousin was suing me for $250,000 over a condiment, you have to understand the sauce. Midnight Ember. That was what Grandma called it. It was dark, sticky, smoky, and possessed a depth of flavor that defied logic. It was the stuff of local legend. People didn't come to Grandma's house for the conversation. They came for the ribs. For 30 years, she guarded that recipe like it was the nuclear launch codes. She claimed it was pre-colonial, passed down through generations of master sauciers on her mother's side. When Grandma died last month, the grief was heavy, but the tension was heavier. Everyone wanted the box. The hand-carved, oak recipe box that sat on her mantle for as long as I could remember. At the wake, while I was in the kitchen plating deviled eggs, I saw her. Tiffany, my cousin, the influencer. She was wearing a black dress that was more club night than funeral, and she was slipping the oak box into her oversized designer tote bag. I didn't stop her. I was too tired. I figured, let her have the paper. I had the memories. I had the technique. I didn't need a card to know how to cook. But Tiffany didn't just want the memories. She wanted an empire. 3 weeks later, Ember and Heirloom launched. I saw the Instagram ads first. High production videos of Tiffany in a white linen apron, which she definitely didn't own, drizzling a dark sauce over artisanal brisket. Discover the ancient secret. The voiceover purred. Foraged botanicals. Organic reduction. A legacy reborn. $45 a jar. $45 for barbecue sauce. I rolled my eyes and went back to work. I'm the head chef at the Iron Skillet, a local gastropub. I make real food for real people. I didn't care about her scam. Until last Saturday. I made a batch of the sauce for a charity fundraiser at the fire station. I labeled it Grandma's Midnight Sauce. We sold out in an hour. We raised $2,000 for new equipment. And on Tuesday, I got served. I read the letter again. The plaintiff holds exclusive intellectual property rights to the formula known as Midnight Ember. The defendant's unauthorized production and distribution of a counterfeit product dilute the brand equity and cause irreparable financial harm. She was claiming she owned Grandma's cooking. She was claiming I, a professional chef, was making a counterfeit of my own heritage. I felt the heat rising in my neck, a prickly sensation that started at my collarbone and crawled up behind my ears. Tiffany wasn't just greedy. She was delusional. I grabbed my keys. I grabbed the letter. I drove to the store, not the grocery store, a specialty boutique called the Gilded Pantry. It was the only place in town pretentious enough to stock Tiffany's sauce. I walked in. I found the display. It was elaborate. There were fake moss and driftwood surrounding a pyramid of sleek, matte black jars with gold lettering. Ember and Heirloom. Ancient Reserve. I picked up a jar. I checked the price tag. $48.50. I bought it. The cashier looked at me like I was insane for buying gold-plated ketchup, but she took my money. I drove straight to the university, my alma mater. I still had friends in the food science department. I walked into the lab. Dr. Eris, my old professor, looked up from a microscope. Maria, he smiled. To what do I owe the pleasure? Bringing me leftovers? Better, I said, placing the jar on his bench. I'm bringing you a mystery. I need a full molecular breakdown. Chromatography. Spectrometry. I need to know exactly what is in this jar. What I am about to watch on this report isn't just a report. It is a message from the grave that will dismantle an entire luxury brand in less than 3 minutes. Grandma wasn't just a cook. She was a prankster of the highest order. By the time dust settles, I won't just have a defense for my lawsuit. I'll have the location of the actual treasure map. And let's just say, it wasn't in the box. To watch full story, follow on screen instructions.